I want to talk about Maddow's book. And she does not talk about current events. Even though the book was written and published in 2023, she really contains the book to what happened in the United States starting in the 1920s, mostly in the 1930s, and then kind of ending in the 1940s. And then she takes each of the main, I want to say characters, but they're real people, each of the main people in the book, and she talks about what happened to them kind of after the story, after World War II, what happens to them, how long they lived, what they did with their lives. What I was most surprised about in the book, and did not, and I guess I was surprised because I did not know, was how much fascism was in the United States in the lead up to World War II. We had a lot of people who were. Now, fascism is think of it more, if the word fascism bothers you, think more about authoritarianism. Think about these people who want to be strong men, who want to control what you're doing. They're like mini dictators, right? They want to tell people what to do and force them to do and behave the way they want them to. There was a governor in Louisiana who was basically a little dictator, and he was on the take. Lots of money came into him. He would take a big bulk of it, and then he would use a little bit to help the people in Louisiana, but he was stealing the money. And he was all about power. He eventually became a senator and refused to give up the governorship. So he was both senator and governor of Louisiana. There was a big propaganda campaign paid for mostly by the German government, but involving a lot of people all across the United States. There were 24 that we know of, 24 24 congressmen who were on the take by the German government, and were helping to push this propaganda to the American people. There was a big trial about this, or several big trials about this, trials for sedition, and she goes through and explains it in the book. I'm not going to go into that detail, but there were a lot of people. There was one guy who was very upset by the rise of fascism, and I don't remember his name, but I believe that he was ex-military from World War I, the Great War. And he put together, of his own volition, a little spy ring made up of other ex-military. And they infiltrated a lot of these different organizations that were supporting fascism in the United States. And it sounds like there were a lot of them. The silver coats, or silver shirts, and I can't remember all the names of the different groups, but there were quite a few of them. And they collected information, and then when they had enough information, they decided that they would start sharing that information with law enforcement officers. And they went in San Diego, they went to the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department said, "I think the person that you are accusing of should be given a medal for what he did." And he clearly was supporting fascism, and the police was sympathetic to him, and the district attorney was sympathetic to him, and the FBI apparently at that point in time was completely incompetent to deal with espionage in the United States. What they were really good at was lab work. They could do fingerprints and ballistics and stuff like that, but they really didn't know how to deal with subversive groups in the United States trying to overthrow the American government. And he finally went to the Department of the Navy in San Diego, and they began to take him seriously and act on some of these things. I think that's probably as much as I want to say about what happened in the book. What I was surprised by was how many people in the United States, because of the campaign, the propaganda campaign funded by and supported by Germany, directly from Germany to the United States, to try to keep the United States out of the war.